All right, guys, today we're going to talk about ordered pairs and relations. That's what the book calls it. So here we go. We do have vocab, so if you don't have your binder out, go ahead and grab your binder. Flip over to have green on the left with your notes on the right. Ready to go. Green on the left, notes on the right. Alright, thank you guys, those of you who are ready to go. Do me a favor, just kind of look over at your neighbor, and if they're not ready, just kind of help encourage them, remind them where they need to be in their notes. Alright, here we go. It's going to be a little small, so make sure you're listening carefully. All right, our very first word or phrase is what your book calls a coordinate system. Everyone? Coordinate system. All right, so here's what the definition is in your book. A coordinate system is formed by the intersection of two number lines that meet at right angles at their 0 points, also called a coordinate plane. So, in your little box there, here's just a little picture you can draw, okay, and that's actually pretty ugly, but that's the way the PowerPoint let me draw it. It wouldn't let me line it up, but it's basically like a plus sign with arrows, right? You have your two number lines, one vertical, one horizontal, okay? So it's just a quick sketching to remind you of what a coordinate system looks like. And if you don't know what a coordinate system is, let's go to this next word, coordinate plane. Everyone? Alright, so another name for the coordinate system, and you can then practice your little plus sign with arrows again if you like to make this one even better looking. Same thing, guys. I've always used coordinate plane, but just know that if you ever see directions or something in your book that talks about the coordinate system, you'll know what it's talking about. Okay, here we go. The next word is the y-axis. Everyone? Y-axis. All right, the y-axis, this is the vertical number line, which helps to form the coordinate system. It's the vertical number line. And that bottom line, right, that's the thing you need to know. It's the vertical number line. That's the simplest definition I can give. All right, and if you have the y-axis, you guys probably have a good idea what the next one is. X-axis, everyone? X-axis. And this is the horizontal number line, which helps to form the coordinate system. And you probably have a good idea of what I'm going to have you write there. But it's not the horizontal number line. I just put the normal number line. Basically what you see in here is a perfect example of what an x-axis would look like. All right, our next word. Origin, everyone? Origin. All right, the origin is the point at which the number line intersects in a coordinate system. The point at which the number line intersects with the coordinate system. So, when we talk about this, right, the points of the origin are in parentheses, the ordered pair, which we'll talk about in a second, is 0, 0. The origin is right where they cross. All right, then the next word I just used a second ago, or the phrase is ordered pair. Everyone? Ordered pair. All right, your book says it's a pair of numbers used to locate any point on a coordinate plane. So you have your coordinate plane or coordinate system, the big grid, and so a point, the location of a point is somewhere in there. Well, the ordered pair will tell you exactly where it's at. And it's always in this form, in parentheses, and inside the parentheses is x, comma, y. The x is the x coordinate and the y is the y coordinate. All right. Before I go to the next slide, questions? All right, here we go. I know you guys are pumped since we have another page of vocab words. Here we go. We're going to start getting to some vocab words you probably have never heard of before. So here we go. Okay, x-coordinate. Everyone? X-coordinate. All right, that's the first number of an ordered pair. So if you just write your ordered pair again, but underline or highlight the x. It's the first number in an ordered pair. Hopefully a lot of these are review. Guys, don't forget when you put the ordered pair, always in the form of parentheses around it. So I know we usually put our example in parentheses, but ordered pair always have parentheses around it as well. All right, here we go. You have the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. Everyone? Y-coordinate. This is the second number of an ordered pair. So again, x comma y in parentheses, but y is the second one there. That's always going to be your y-coordinate. All right, here we go. The next word you're going to see is the word graph. Everyone? Graph. Okay, graph's a multiple meaning word. Here's what it means in this particular lesson. It's a dot at the point that corresponds to an ordered pair on a coordinate plane. So I have my Dr. Seuss line. Put the dot in the right spot. So if you see the word graph, that's basically what it means. And we'll talk more about that when we do our examples. Okay, here we go. We're going to get into a few last words. There's a decent chance you haven't seen these yet, so here we go. The next word is relation. Everyone? Relation. So, a relation is a set of ordered pairs. Okay? So if you have like more than one set of ordered pairs that are somehow related to in the same problem, it's asking you to graph these ordered pairs, then that would be a set. Sorry, it looks like there's a typo here, so let me fix that. There should be a comma between the 6 and the 8. Okay. All right. And then the next one is the domain. Everyone? Domain. Sounds like such a powerful name. Domain. All right, here's the domain. The domain of a relation is the set of all the x-coordinates from each pair. So if you have a set of ordered pair, which is the relation, you have a bunch of ordered pairs, the domain is a listing of all of the x's. So it's listed, this is an example, it's listed like this. Okay? Those are not parentheses. Okay? That's how a set will show. So that's not an ordered pair, that's a set of x. X is out of a relation or a set of ordered pair. Okay? So here we go. Here's the next one. Range, everyone? Range. Okay, a range, the range of a relation is a set of all y-coordinates from each pair. So you'll see both of these on our homework. So domain is the x's, okay? All of the y's are called the range. So it's kind of written very similarly. Okay, 5 and 8, those could be y's. All right. All right, here we go. So what I'd like you guys to do right now is to go ahead and you already have your graph paper. Let's go ahead and take our graph paper up at the top. Okay. First and last name. Put your period, put the date, okay, this is assignment number 8, And it starts on book page 34. All right, once you have that done, go ahead and grab your book, flip over to page 34. Okay, here we go. I will change to red where it shows up a little bit better for you. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start with problem number 2 off of this book page. Problem number 2. I know it's not part of your homework, but it's very similar to the ones on your homework. Here we go. Problem number 2 says the directions say graph each ordered pair on a coordinate plane. So and then they give us the ordered pair of point A as the ordered pair is 2, 5, which means the x coordinate is 2, the y coordinate is 5. Okay, so when they give you, I'm going to let you guys do this. For example, right? Take a look at numbers 1 through 4. Here's what I would suggest. Look at your largest x or y coordinate. In this case, I'm looking at problem number 1, which is point F, which is the x-axis, or I'm sorry, the x coordinate is 6. The reason why I'm telling you this is if you make the largest one, then I'm going to allow you for that set of problems to put all your points on one graph. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. Okay? You're going to use, that's why I give you graph paper, you're going to use the lines for your coordinate graph. So if we're going to call this a step 1 is build your coordinate graph. So I'll start with my y-axis. All right? And because it is, the largest one is 6 and this one, I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, well, let's see. I'll call this 6. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And I'm looking, there are no negatives in there, so I can go ahead. This could be -1. I'll just put that there for now. But now I'm going to go ahead and draw my x-axis. That was the y-axis. I'm going to draw my x-axis. So this right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put a little arrow on the end. When you guys draw number lines, okay, of course put arrows on the end. That shows continuation. Okay, there's an infinite amount of numbers right on number lines, so it just shows there's a continuation. Okay. So draw your 2 number lines, have them intersect at 0. All right, here we go. So remember, step 2 is look at your, I'll put it right here as a reminder, look at your x coordinate, that's 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at 0, okay, and that's a positive 2. So on the x-axis, remember the x is the regular number line, I'm going to go over to 2. Okay, now be careful, don't plot a point there, we're not done. Okay, we're going over to 2. Now, we can call this step 3. Is from that spot, you're going to go up the y-axis, or even with the y-axis to where the 5 is. So we were over at the 2. Now that's a positive 5, so I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's even with the 5 on the y-axis. And I'm going to plot my point there. Okay. Now, because you're labeling everything on one graph, it's very important that you do step 4, and that is label your point. Okay, points in math are always labeled by capital letters. So since this is point A, I'm going to just go ahead right by the point, put a capital A. Okay, guys, questions? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you guys try one from your homework. Now the bad news is that you're going to need those are a little bit bigger. If you see, the coordinates are 7. Okay. So you're going to need to build a new coordinate graph. Okay. So I will give you the extra time though. All right. I'm going to check in with you guys in 2 minutes. So you'll build your coordinate graph and then go ahead and graph point on problem number 14. 14. Okay. You're going to go ahead and graph point C. Point C. All right. That's in your book. All right. Any questions before I let you guys try one? Okay. I'll check in with you guys in 2 minutes. Go. Again, guys, if you finish that one, you feel pretty good about it, then you can go ahead and kind of work on some of those others in that section right there too. I'm giving you less homework to do when you get home. All right, anyone need more time on that one? All right, really quickly, 30 seconds. Go ahead and turn to your neighbor, and you're going to need to show them the paper because you need to show them, of course, where you graphed your point. So go ahead, see if they match up. Go. Bless you. Okay. All right, here we go. So with this one, the largest coordinate is, well, it's just on this particular problem, right? It's 7. So I'm going to go ahead and pretty much graph this one the same way. They're all positives again, so I could just say, okay, this is 7. So if you want to only, I'm actually okay with you if you only want a number every 5th one. Sometimes that makes it a little quicker. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Just make sure that it's accurate. 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. All right. I'll come down a little bit more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Okay, here we go. So for number 14, it is, of course, this is our, after we drew that, this is our x-axis, right? Step 2. So I'm going to go up over on the x-axis, going to the side to positive 7. 3, of course, is the y. I mean, I go up 3. Oops. Up 3. So 1, 2, 3. Graph my point and label it. All right. Questions? Not bad, right? It's more time consuming than difficult.
Can you change the pen color? I can't really see it well.
Okay. Will it help if I do it black? That show up better? A little bit? Okay. All right, guys. Any questions? Okay, here we go. Next problem. Okay, let's take a look in your book at the next section down, and we'll go back to the guided practice. Let's look at problem number 6. Okay, problem number 6 says, refer to the coordinate plane shown at the right. Write the ordered pair that names each point. So guys, here's what we're doing. We're just doing the opposite of what we just did. They graphed it for us, and we got to say the ordered pair instead of them giving us the ordered pair and us graphing it. So if we take a look, right, the steps are basically the same thing. All right. So if I'm looking here, making sure that look is there. Okay, here we go. Problem number 6 is K. There's K right there. So you're going to start at 0, go over 1, 2, right underneath the K. So your x-axis is 2. And, of course, the y-axis, we go up, is 1. So if we do this, you can do it a couple different ways. You can go one at a time, or if you can remember, you can just do them both at the same time. But the x-axis, again, is 1, 2. I went over to the right 2. So there's my x-axis, okay? And what you might want to do, if we're writing steps here, draw your parentheses, because you need to have those for your ordered pair. Okay? You could say step 2, find your x-axis, go over to where it's even with that particular point. In this case, the K is at 2 over. And then I'm going to go up 1, so our y coordinate is 1, and that, of course, would be step 3. And, guys, this is all that is needed on there. Okay?
So
Questions?
So we don't need to draw the coordinate plane and mark the letters on there and just write it that way?
Do you have to, you're asking, do you have to copy this down on your paper? Nope.
Okay.
I'm okay with you not doing that. Okay? If they ask you to graph it, then you have to draw your own. But if they already have a graph for you on those particular ones, you don't have to draw your own.
You have to draw multiple coordinate planes for each question.
You want to?
No, do you have to?
Well, I only did that here because this was each section. So number 2 was this section up here. That's why I did it. I had you guys draw your own because you're going to fit all 8 of these. Or now you're only doing even, right? So only 4 of them on there. But still. Okay. So basically this is the only one. You'll graph them all on that. It's the one you already drew. Unless you guys would love to draw more of these. And feel free if you want to show your artistic coordinate plane ability, you know. Okay, other questions? Oh yeah, you're right. This ream isn't hole punch, so you can rip it in your binder if you'd like, or you can hole punch it. Don't do it right now, guys, but after class there's a hole punch right over by the window there. It's a little single hole punch, but feel free if you'd like. Okay, here we go. Any other questions about the math or math problems? Okay, we still have more to do. There's still different types that I want to go over. All right, so here we go. Did the black work a little better for you guys? A little bit. All right, here we go. Okay, so on here, it says, the next part says express each relation as a table. Then determine the domain and the range. All right, so express each domain as a table. All right, or each relation as a table. All right, and then it says determine the domain and the range. All right, so on this particular problem, all right, which one did I say we were going to do? Number 10. Let's take a look at number 10 in the guided practice. Okay, so here's what they want you to do. So what you're going to do is, and I'm not going to be picky if your table is vertical or horizontal, okay? Either way works. All right. So some people I know I'll do it vertically. I don't know if that's how you want to do it. It's up to you. Some people are better vertically because maybe your elementary teacher taught you that way, but it's either way works for me. Okay. So here's what you're going to do. All you're doing is you're labeling. You're going to list all the x's in the table. So what we have is when the x is 1, okay, the y is 3. So if we're going to draw this as steps, step 1, of course, is go ahead and build your, it's almost like a T-chart that's boxed in, basically an x and y table. Okay. Step 2 is start putting your ordered pair in the table. So when x is 1, y is 3. When x is 2, y is 6. When x is 3, y is 3. And when x is 4, y is 7. So that's all they want you to do for the table. They just want you to take the ordered pair and place them in a table. However, if you don't forget to look at the directions. It says then determine the domain and range. So the domain. Okay, remember the domain are all of the x's. All right? So the domain is 1, comma 2, comma, sorry, thank you guys. Trying to fit all this under the camera is a little hard. 3 and 4. Okay? The range. And if I'm going to say that step 3, don't forget your domain, you're listing the x coordinates. Okay, the range are your y's. Remember what's what it said in the vocabulary. Okay. It is 3, 6. Now listen, there's another 3. You do not have to list it a second time. 3 is already part of our range. And then we have 7. So that would be step 4. List your y coordinates in the set. Okay. Okay, guys. I do want to go over one more with you guys. So if you take a look, okay, let's check out. I'm going to flip this paper over. Let's take a look at problem number 34. 34. Okay, and this is part of your homework, so let's do this problem together right now. Okay, 34 says, in this problem you will explore more about relations. Suppose Jamal has only 30 minutes to practice piano and study for the science test. All right, so they're actually walking you through it, the whole problem. So A, they want you to build a table. Okay, 34A. So it says, make a table of ordered pairs showing at least 6 ways Jamal can split the time between the 2 activities. Okay, he has 30 minutes to do the piano and the science test and study for the science test. So it says, let the x coordinate and y coordinate represent the number of minutes spent playing the piano and the number of minutes spent studying respectively. So that saying respectively means that the first one is the x coordinate, so that's the piano. Okay, I'm going to build a table just like we did a little while ago. So x coordinate is the piano. All right. So I'll put just a little P for piano to remember that, and the y is studying for the science test. Okay. So here we go. This they're asking you to do them. Just make up your own. So it says, what does it say? It says at least 6 ways. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of thinking ahead. If I go 1 minute for the other, it's going to be 29 minutes for another. So when I get to the graphing part, it's going to be huge to graph that. So here's what I'm going to do instead. First of all, you could split it 15 right down the middle, 15, 15, right? Couldn't you split it 14 for piano, 16 for studying? So when one goes down, the other goes up, right? Because you're still representing 30 minutes. It could also be the other way around, 16 and 14. What could be another one? 13 and 17, or 17 and 13. Okay. And it does ask for 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could just put the next one, maybe 18 and 12. Okay, there's a table. Now, graph the ordered pair. All right? So you're going to build your graph. It's all positive. You're going to want to make it to be obviously up to 18. That's a pretty big graph. All right, that's why I gave you graph paper. All right, word says describe the general pattern of your points. Guys, for 34C, okay, 34C, find out, and the main thing that they want to know, is it linear? Meaning, does it create a line? And we'll talk more about that as we go through the year. Okay? And then of course make sure that you take a look at 34D as well. This is just more of a challenge problem. All right?